She didn't cry when we found her. That was the first thing I noticed. A kitten that small, that thin, should have been crying. Instead, she just pressed herself into the corner of the box, shaking, silent, watching us with eyes that were far too tired for something so young. She was maybe 6 weeks, orange and cream, all sharp angles and soft fluff in the wrong places. Someone had left her behind a shop in a torn cardboard box in the cold. No mother in sight. No siblings, just her, alone, waiting for something that wasn't coming. When I reached in to pick her up, she flinched. Her whole body curled away from my hand like she expected pain, like reaching out had never meant anything good before. I froze. I let my hand hover there until she stopped shaking quite so hard. Then, slowly, I lifted her out. She weighed almost nothing. I could feel every rib beneath that thin layer of fur, and it made something in my chest tighten in a way I wasn't prepared for. We drove home in silence. Every time my hand moved even an inch, her ears would flatten and her body would go rigid. She wasn't just scared, she was bracing, like she already knew, somewhere deep down, that good things didn't last, and that whatever came next would probably hurt the way everything before it seemingly had. That first night, she wouldn't eat, she wouldn't drink. She sat pressed against the farthest wall of her little enclosure, watching the door, watching my hands, watching everything, like danger could come from any direction at any second. I sat on the floor near her, not reaching, not speaking much, just staying close enough that she'd understand I wasn't leaving. Hours passed. She didn't move. I thought about what she must have seen in 6 short weeks of life. Whatever had happened before that box, before the cold, had taught her something no kitten should have to learn that early. That hands could be dangerous, that warmth could disappear, that being small and alone was simply how the world worked. The vet said she was underweight, dehydrated, but otherwise healthy. Physically, she would heal fast. Kittens usually do. It was the other kind of healing, the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't show up on any chart, that would take longer. For the first few days, I didn't try to hold her much. I just let her exist near me, sitting nearby with a book or my laptop while she watched from her corner, tense, cataloging every sound. The hum of the refrigerator made her ears twitch. A door closing too firmly sent her flat against the ground. Even the sound of my own footsteps seemed to make her flinch, like danger could announce itself in any form at any moment. Slowly, though, something started to shift. She'd creep an inch closer while I wasn't looking directly at her. She'd sniff at my fingers and pull back immediately, like she'd surprised even herself. One evening, she batted weakly at a piece of string, then froze, as if playing was something she wasn't sure she was allowed to do. By the end of the first week, she let me touch her head, just for a second, just one gentle stroke before she pulled away. But it was something. It was the first time she chose to stay instead of flinch. If you've made it this far into her story, I think that says something about you. You're the kind of person who notices the small moments, who understands that healing doesn't happen all at once. If you want to see more of her story, hitting subscribe would truly mean a lot. It helps more than you'd think. Around day 10, everything changed. I was sitting on the couch, scrolling through my phone, when I felt the faintest weight settle against my leg. I looked down and there she was. She had climbed up on her own, walked the length of the couch, and curled herself against me, without being coaxed, without being carried. She hadn't asked for permission, she had simply decided. I didn't move. I barely breathed. I just let her stay there, this tiny, trembling creature who had spent her whole short life learning not to trust, choosing for the first time to be close to someone on purpose. After that, things moved quickly, the way trust sometimes does once the first wall comes down. She started following me from room to room, a small orange shadow, always watching, but watching differently now, not bracing, just curious. She discovered her voice around week 2, a tiny, uncertain meow, so soft at first I almost missed it. Within days, it grew louder, more confident, like she'd realized that asking for things might actually work here. She learned that hands could scratch behind ears instead of hurting. She learned that when I reached toward her now, she didn't need to flinch because nothing bad was coming. One afternoon, I sat on the floor and held out my hand, palm up, the same way I had that very first day in the car. This time, she didn't pull away. She walked straight into my palm, turned in a small circle, and settled down like it was the most natural thing in the world. That was the moment I understood. She wasn't just getting used to me. She had decided somewhere in that small, brave heart of hers that I was safe, that this house was safe, that she didn't have to carry all that fear anymore. She started sleeping differently too. In the beginning, she'd curl into the tightest possible ball, tucked into corners, always half alert, even in sleep. Now she sprawled, fully stretched out, belly exposed, completely unguarded, in the middle of the bed like she owned it. There's something about watching a once frightened animal finally sleep without fear that changes you. It's such a small thing, and it means everything. By the second month, she wasn't the same kitten I had lifted out of that cardboard box. She played now, chasing toys with clumsy enthusiasm, pouncing on shadows, climbing things she had no business climbing. She had a favorite sunny spot by the window. She had a habit of headbutting my hand when she wanted attention, like she was making up for all the affection she'd missed. And she purred, this rattling, overwhelming sound that seemed too big for such a small body, like all that gratitude had to go somewhere. I think about that first night often, how she sat pressed against the wall, watching, waiting for the world to hurt her again. And I think about how day by day, gesture by gesture, she unlearned that fear. Not because I did anything extraordinary, I just stayed. I stayed calm, I stayed patient, and I let her come to trust in her own time, on her own terms. That's the thing nobody tells you about rescuing something small and frightened. You don't fix them, you don't rush them into healing. You just become someone worth trusting, and you wait for them to notice. Some nights, she still stands at the window, watching the dark outside, and for just a moment I wonder if she remembers, if some part of her still knows what it felt like to be alone in the cold. But then she turns, and she comes back to the couch and she climbs into my lap without hesitation. And I know that whatever she remembers, she no longer carries it the same way. If you're ever given the chance to help something small find its way back to trust, take it. It won't happen overnight. It might not even happen in weeks, but there will be a moment, small and quiet, when a creature that once flinched at your hand decides finally that you are safe. And when that moment comes, you'll understand that you didn't just save a life, you helped something believe in kindness again. So tell me, do you think animals like her remember the hard parts forever, just quietly underneath all that trust? Or do you think love really can replace fear completely? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments.